What macro ratio would you recommend for weight loss? This is JJ Virgin, 4-time New York Times bestselling author, celebrity nutrition expert, and fitness Hall of Famer. I've been on a lifelong quest for answers to the toughest health questions. And now I'm sharing what I found with you. Welcome to Ask the Health Expert. Aliona Soleil from Instagram asks, what macro ratio would you recommend for weight loss? All right, I will be right back with that answer. Stay with me. Hey, it's JJ here, and I just got a makeover. Well, actually, my products did. But I want to have you celebrate with me, so I'm doing a makeover contest where you can win over $3,000 of products, programs, and time with me. To enter, go to jjvirgin.com/contest. So years back, I used to travel the country teaching for a company called Pathway Genomics, and they had a lab test, a genetics test. It's still out, called Pathway Fit. Super interesting test, because what it looked at was genetically, which type of diet were you best set up for? Would you tend to do better with lower carb? Are you one of those people that needed to watch your fat because of a specific genotype? Or are you one of those people that's more flexible? You can eat more protein. You can eat more carbs. You can eat more fat, and it's not an issue. You can kind of macronutrient cycle. So it's interesting because for the most part, but not always, I found in that testing, most people did better with a lower carb diet. So here's what I'm going to recommend. And I think this is the most interesting thing at all, is that use a diet short term to connect the dots between what you're eating and when you're eating it, how it makes you feel. And this is why it's important to step on the scale every single day and also do waist and measurements once a week so that you can check in and go, wow, when I eat a higher carb meal, like I am definitely bloated. And I definitely gain weight from that. When I eat lower carb meals, I feel better. It's easier for me to maintain my weight. That may or may not be true for you, but you won't know unless you're getting on the scale each day. And yes, the scale will vary throughout the week. It might go up a little bit, down a little bit. But if you see a jump up 2 to 3 pounds, come on. That's like you didn't sit down and eat a pie, I'm assuming. So clearly you're having a response to what you're eating that's not working for you. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want you to consider is this, is that oftentimes we're hungry because of what we ate before. There's actually this thing called the second meal phenomenon. And I used to always talk about this. I'd say, breakfast, and whatever time you eat breakfast, whether it's breakfast, brunch, lunch, sets the metabolic tone for the day. Meaning if you're eating a high carb, low fat, low protein breakfast that starts your blood sugar rolling, that's going to make it roll all throughout the day, and it will make you hungrier at the next meal, because of the hormone responses, because of the blood sugar, then insulin response. So always consider that as well. Now, for most people, they will do better on a lower carb diet. For everyone, though, they'll do better on a whole foods diet, minimally processed. Like I use very few processed foods in my diet. The ones that I do are a protein powder, but I use one that's super clean and bioavailable. And then I'll take my protein bars with me, so I'm never trapped somewhere where I might get in trouble. Hasn't been as big of a deal during the pandemic since I haven't been really traveling, but I always keep one in my purse and I always keep one in the car. So here's what I find tends to work the best. Dose your protein. And generally I'll tell people, if you can't do your body fat, because if you can do your body fat, I dose protein based on 3/4 gram to 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. Absent that, if you're just using a scale, do it 1/2 gram per 3/4 gram of body weight. Push it more if you are healing from surgery, if you're under big stress, or you're working out super heavy. So I lead with protein. And remember, every meal you're having protein, fat, and fiber. That is my satiety blood sugar balance trifecta. So you're getting clean protein from things like the protein powder I talked about. I have a paleo and a plant-based blend from cold water and clean and wild fish and seafood, from pastured pork and chicken, from grass-fed lamb and meat. If you're adventurous, venison and bison. I wish I liked those. And if you're not egg intolerant, pastured eggs. And you have to make sure of that by going through the Virgin diet. All right. So you can do those things. Then you'll eat your clean protein. You'll get some healthy fat. Now, some of that you'll get from, say, the wild fish or the grass-fed beef or the grass-fed lamb. And then you can add more through nuts and seeds and avocado and coconut and some of the better oils like extra virgin olive oil, or maybe adding in some olives. And then loads of non-starchy vegetables and a little bit of a slow, low carb. And where I don't manipulate how much protein I have. And I make sure I get a load of non-starchy vegetables, like 5 or more servings a day, right? And a serving is a half cup cooked or a cup raw. What I manipulate there is how much fat and carbs. And that's where I want you to pay attention and say, how do I feel? So how much fat, how many slow, low carbs? I find that I do better with really no slow, low carbs in the morning. Little bit of lunch. I might have a serving at lunch, 1 to 2 servings at dinner, helps me sleep better. And sometimes I'll just do none at breakfast and lunch and 1 serving at dinner. But I do find that when I do a little bit of a slow, low carb at night, that I feel better. So in general, I find people do better with protein, loads of non-starchy vegetables, limited amount of slow, low carbs, like a serving at each meal, probably nothing at breakfast. I find that it makes you, you tend to do better and not be as hungry. And then the rest is made up with healthy fats. And don't go overboard with those healthy fats either, because it's real easy to go overboard with something like nut butter, avocado, etc. Right? So don't push yourself over the edge with that. I always tell the story of me standing in the fridge with the spoon, with the crunchy salted almond butter, which is just like my crack. So, if you know that, too much healthy food's unhealthy, right? All right. If you've got questions, I've got answers. All you do is jump on over to Instagram, DM me at jj.virgin. We are tracking those and adding them to my podcast sheet, and then I will record the answer for you. All right. Thanks so much, and make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss a daily dose at subscribe-to-jj.com. Bye. This is JJ with Ask the Health Expert. I do this 5 times a week, so make sure you never miss a show by going to subscribe-to-jj.com.